Hey, you guys, welcome back to the Lotus Life Podcast. I'm your host, Kim Fisher. It's so awesome to have you here. I'm sorry about last week. I completely flaked and forgot to make an episode for you guys. So I'm apologizing and making up for it by making today's episode extra spicy, sultry, and dripping with amazing information for you. So let me first say that if you are not making love to your dreams, and I really mean that, you are missing out on deep connection to your own sense of self, self-worth, self-esteem, and everything self. The reason you are not taking action, the reason you feel like you just aren't the person to get the job done, the reason you're holding back in your life, the reason you're overthinking, the reason you've lost passion or momentum in your personal relationships, but also your business and your projects is deeply rooted in what I have to talk to you about today in today's episode, which has to do with properly fucking your dreams. So hang on tight. This episode is going to be a good one. When you meet someone who is alive and on fire and passionate, happy, optimistic, they usually are someone who's really secure in who they are and who they are not. There's a characteristic about them where they are very steady and they show up for themselves. You have a sense that they have very strong interpersonal connections. They know who they are. They're proud of who they are. They don't need to become anyone else. They don't need to prove themselves to anyone. And they truly are happy with who they are. I want to present you with this idea that that person is actually in a relationship with themselves. Okay, so I'm going to be using, for the context of today's lesson, the context of relationship. You need to be and consider that you are in a romantic partnership. You are in a friendship as well, with a business relationship. You are in relationship with yourself. And the sooner you can get that down and embody that through practices I'm going to talk about, the sooner you're going to feel more alive, happy, optimistic, and a go-getter. You're going to have that spark again to take action on your dreams. You're not going to be second guessing, who, me? Am I the one? No, I need to get more certifications. I need to do all these things before I'm ready to launch into the world. You're also going to find you have more momentum. People who understand that they are in relationship with themselves and they cultivate that relationship through various modalities are the ones who are achieving the most in the world. They're the people who you look up to. And this is how I got into the place I'm in now, the head space, the heart space that I am in now, is because I recognized that the relationship I was in with myself wasn't a good one. I wasn't taking me out to dinner. I wasn't flirting with myself. I wasn't treating myself. I wasn't looking at myself in the mirror saying, damn, you're fine and I'm so thankful you are mine. I wasn't looking at my work and going, great job. Like, you're so inspirational and you're such a gift. I'm so thankful you're in my life. I wasn't spending money on me and treating myself, and I wasn't making love to myself. And I mean that both literally and figuratively, as I'm going to tease apart for you in this episode. You need to be fucking yourself. You need to be absolutely making love to yourself. You need to be having sex with yourself, the most orgasmic mood state possible. What do I mean by that? You need to be falling in love with yourself. Think about the best relationship you've ever had. Dating someone. That person turned you on. That person wooed you, swept you off your feet. That individual, like, that's all you thought about or obsessed about. You fell in love with that person probably because they showed up for you a lot. They were around a lot. They were available a lot. And quite frankly, a lot of you are not available for your own self. You're available for everyone else, which is why you're probably in great relationships with other people. But the number one relationship you need to be focused on to get anything done worth getting done in your life and to live up to the potential, your full potential in your life, is to really exercise and start nurturing the most important relationship, and that is the one with yourself. Yourself holds the keys to everything you want. Now, they're not the people, yet that's where we spend all of our time. Even on social media, we're busy looking at other people. We're in such great relationships with everyone else. We are in such wonderful, well-loved relationships. We are constantly being wooed and tantalized and teased and pleasured by everyone else's social media account, everyone else's agenda. Where is your agenda to love yourself this week? That's what I really want to dial in on with you, is you need to be planning for time alone. You need to be planning for self-care and pleasure. And I mean, like taking yourself out to dinner. I mean, grabbing your favorite latte. I mean, getting a mani and pedi, getting a massage, but also your time in the bedroom to self-pleasure through masturbation. Yes, I just said it. Your sensuality and your creativity and your centers of pleasure, your centers of power, your centers of I belong, your centers of wealth are actually located in your lower chakras and energy centers of your body. So this is why, as Kim Anami says, Kim Anami is someone I follow on social media, well-fucked women, you can just tell. They're like magnetic attractors for everything in the world. Money, power, other men, other women, opportunities, luxury goods, food, everything just seems to flow into them because they are well-fucked. What does well-fucked mean? They're alive. They've been turned on. They understand that they're a high commodity of value. They are the prize. That's how you feel when someone is like obsessed with you, right? Think about the last time you were desired in any capacity. How did that feel to be desired? Don't you like sit up taller? Aren't you just like, whoa, your pupils dilate and you start to like wear a little bit more makeup, or maybe you like put on that special outfit. People are like, whoa, where are you going? You're like, just out to get groceries. But you're aware that you are desired. You become aware that there is an attractive force about you, and you're turning someone on even when you're not physically present with them. This is one of the main stages of wealth consciousness and manifesting. And I teach this inside of MMM, my Manifesting Mastery membership. And we teach this in the last month together. And that is pleasure. Understanding that you are desired by the universe more than you desire it makes you feel so turned on and excited for life. Just like when your partner or the last person you dated desired you. When you know you're on someone's mind, don't you feel like that bitch? You're just like, I am fucking hot and someone wants me. Ooh, what am I going to do with that? Right? Like, I'm going to tease them. I'm going to text them. Maybe you send them a little picture. Maybe you text them something naughty, right? Like, I'm being honest with you here. Like, we start to behave in this way that's been unlocked because we are aware that we are desired. You need to bring that about on your own. This is where self-empowerment and self-leadership and embodiment of those qualities needs to be present in your life. So here are some ways to bring about the best tantalizing, sensual, and oozing, dripping relationship with your own self, right? Because we don't want to wait for an external person, a stimuli to come along and say, bing, with a magic wand, you are now desired, and then we're activated. No, I'm talking about doing that shit yourself. And it is possible. That's what I do every single day. And that's why I'm here to teach you how to do the same. The language shifts and how I say you can do it. It's manifesting. It's self-leadership. And the byproduct of those are taking swift action, inspired, aligned action, living with purpose and living with a sense of just a full body yes in your life. And then a byproduct of that is your relationships just come alive. People are attracted to you. Money is attracted to you. The universe is attracted to you. Everything is attracted to someone who is embodying their yes, who is taking swift aligned action, because that's a sign of someone who's confident, right? Someone who's taking action and just like blowing up their life obviously is someone who is well fucking themselves, who is in love with themselves, who has found a way to go back into courtship with themselves, to feel, oh my God, I'm desired by the world. The world wants to fuck me. That's incredible. Now, maybe not absolute, like literal penetration, but metaphorically speaking, the world wants to show up and play with you. The world wants to tango. The world wants to take you out to dinner. The world wants to hear what you have to say. The world wants to buy what you have to sell. That's what I mean by the world wants to fuck you. Let's get into that state, right? Let's get into that energetic state where you are understanding that you are that bitch, that you are that goddess, that you carry that energy. You are that desirable. You are the flower with the sticky pollen that every bee wants to get into. You are that honey pot that the bear can't wait to get its paws into. You are that bitch. We must own that energy. Why? Because that is the most delicious version of you. That is the most turned on version of you that this world needs, that you need to activate. That's your activated state. And now nothing is unreachable. Nothing can stop you. You are on fire with passion and love because you have finally made love to yourself, and you do it every single day in many multiple ways. It's not literally just going to bed, closing the door, and doing your own private thing to yourself. I'm talking about making love to yourself all day long. When you look in the mirror, when you put on that special outfit, when you put on some red lipstick like I have on today because you are adorning yourself, when you are walking, the way you walk, the way you carry yourself, the way you eat is a symbol and a way of pleasuring yourself and making love. Are you putting toxic food in? Are you taking yourself out for that amazing meal? Are you putting low vibrational foods in your body, or are you making love to yourself through the food that you eat? Are you drinking enough water, or are you dehydrating your pleasurable body? Because that is not a way to make love to yourself. Making love to yourself looks like caring for the skin, getting massages, spending time in nature, courting yourself. Think about how you want someone to care for you in a relationship. What do you argue about in your relationships? If you're in a relationship right now, what do you consistently say to your significant other? I need you to listen to me more. I need you to plan date night more. Well, guess what you want you to do for you? The exact things you're bitching and moaning about to your significant other. So if you're like, Kim, I don't know what I want. What are you mostly looking for in a partner? What are your absolutes that need to happen? What's the reason you broke up with your past significant person? What were the problems there? Because that's also a sign of what you need, probably. And what are you complaining about, bitching and moaning about with your partner now? Those are signs and symbols of, guess what? What you need to do for you, because it's ultimately people aren't going to change and they're not going to fix themselves for you. If you haven't figured that out, well, no one's told you. Guess what? People don't change. You change. And when you find joy from yourself, when you give yourself that joy, when you give yourself your own pleasure, when you give yourself a fuck yes life, the small little things that other people don't do actually don't matter because you're giving it to yourself. And I know that might seem like, well, Kim, my relationship with no, I want you to feel empowered to empower yourself right now. And let's just make it about you. But what I want you to do is look at the things that are lacking in your current relationships. And also you can do this with your friendships. How do you want to be treated as a friend? How do you want your friends to treat you? How do you want your boss to treat you? How do you want your coworkers to treat you? These are all the relationships you're in, right? How do you want your significant other to treat you? List those things out, write them down. You're going to have then the master blueprint to how to be in relationship with yourself. Because typically we're not getting what we want from other people because we don't know how to give them to ourselves first. Let me ground that for you. When I say to Brandon, I need you to make plans on the weekend because that shows me you're thinking of me, which is oh so beautiful, right? We'll go right back to courtship. Am I on their mind? It's such a beautiful, powerful feeling to know that that I'm on someone's mind, right? That makes me feel again pleasurable, that I am desired, which is the state of attraction that we want to be in. So I say to Brandon, hey, will you please plan something for us more because that lets me know you're thinking of me? And then he does it. And then I feel really good. But I first need to recognize and understand if that's actually what I need. You can practice that with yourself first. So instead of me always waiting around for Brandon to plan something for me to do that I love, I'm going to let myself know first that I'm thinking of me, that I'm on my mind, and my pleasure is important to me. So I'm going to go ahead and plan a walk by the lake with my favorite latte. I'm going to go ahead and set a date at the spa and show up and meet me there and enjoy time for me. I'm going to plan in advance a little weekend getaway for myself where I can go alone and just splurge in an incredible hotel. These are ways of showing myself I'm looking out for me and I'm thinking of myself, and having fun and being spontaneous with me and for me is so important. Now that I've learned how to do that for myself, I can properly guide someone else that I love into that same relationship space because I've been there, because it's familiar. I hope that's landing. Sometimes we say, hey, significant other, love me like this, but we haven't really figured out what that feels like first for ourselves. We have to feel it in our body first and know, yes, this is actually a full body yes for me. And I love it when date night gets planned because I love it when I do it for myself. And I feel so good when I'm in the moment, and I feel so great afterwards that yes, significant other, would you please do this for me too? Because this is how I love myself, and this is how you can love me too. Is this making sense? Most of us don't spend the time to figure out what it is the fuck we want. And that we go around going, could you please do this? And then they do it and we go, oh, I'm still unhappy. Shit. Or, hey, you, can you do this for me? And they do it. And we're like, oh, that wasn't exactly what I needed. Fuck. Okay. And then, hey, you, could you do this for me? And then they do it. And you're like, that actually hurt. That like pushed against a boundary. And I guess I didn't want that. You have to figure out what the hell you want first before you go asking the world to give it to you. We're not taught how to do this. But when you learn how to do this, when you start pleasuring and looking out for you first and making love, setting up those little dates, teasing and courting and flirting and dating yourself, you'll start getting into the zone of really knowing who you are and what makes you the most delicious, turned on, vibratory being that you can be. Most of us are living waiting for someone else to turn you on. What would it be like if you could turn you on? What would your life be like? Just think about that for a second. Seriously, stop and dream for a second with me. What does your most turned on life look like? How are you dressing? How are you speaking? What are you eating and drinking? Who are you hanging out with? What habits have you stopped? Not only what are you doing now, what habits have you started, but what habits have you stopped? Because you are now the one who turns you on. That's a big one for someone right there. That's where we're headed, you and I. We're headed into this luxurious, beautiful, opulent area of your life called I fuck myself. I turn myself on. I am dating me. Now, that doesn't mean there's no room for anyone else. Maybe for some of you that is. This is such a big assignment. They're like, I need to go alone. I'm finally going to date me. I'm finally going to figure out what turns me on. And then I'll know those things for a future relationship. Or right now you're in a relationship, you don't want to get out of it. But guess what? You learning how to turn you on, you being your best partner, you're going to show up 10 times more alive, awake, and desirable and in love with your own partner that you're in right now. This new version of you is the version they fucking want to. You're not the only one who's craving yourself to be more alive. Hello. You're not the only one who's craving for you to finally take care of yourself. Your partner's wanting it. Your kids are wanting it. Your parents are wanting it. Everyone is wanting you turned on because that is the most delicious version of you. Make love to your dreams. Make love to yourself. Figure out what turns you on and do those things because we need you turned on. We need you alivened. We need you activated. That version of you is unstoppable. She's courageous. She's wild. She's fun. And she's spontaneous. And that version of you, I know, is sitting there right inside of you. Quit looking for it, activating it from someone else. Activate it yourself. You can do that. Your homework is to make a list of 10 ways you can turn yourself on this week and next week. Maybe you literally put in there, I'm going to get my toys out and just have some fun in the bedroom and experience a full body orgasm. Good. Go for that. Pleasure in the physical body is encouraged. But also, what else in the external world stimulates you the most? Do you love flowers? What scent? Do you love a specific dessert? Which kind? Go get it. Do you love being in nature? Do you love being in water? Go find a body of water. Go get in it. Splash and play. Are you a learner? Do you love astrology? Lie down in the back and in the night sky and watch for shooting stars. Do you love going out and treating yourself and being bougie? Go shopping. What is it that turns you on, that gives you that pulse, that yummy, yummy? We need that version of you, and you need that version of you. Okay? This is your homework assignment. Make that list and notice while you're creating that list too, how fun it feels. You might even write things down where you're like, I'm so embarrassed to write that down. I hope no one sees this list. That's absolutely the thing you need to be doing. Take action on every single one of those things on the list and watch it propel you into a full body yes-gasm. Watch it propel you into dripping, wet, pulsating skin vibratory energy. Watch it propel you into your absolute fuck yes life. I absolutely know you want this, and I know that you want you, and it's time that you are that embodied energy. I can't wait to see the most delicious version of you. I can't wait to hear about it. Thanks so much for being here, you guys. And I hope this episode turns you on and gave you something really deep to think about.